process that goes into creating your new home is varied and complex. The creation of lots, the development of infrastructure, the nuts and bolts of the actual construction, mix these together with the elements of design and the needs and desires of you, the new home buyer, and we've created our modern new home building industry. As a builder, I would like to share with you an overview of my industry and how many of the pieces fit together to create your new home. The forces which shape our urban landscapes and the opportunities for home ownership which result are directly linked. Historically, two ownership options were available: downtown high-rise, either condo or rental, or suburban low-rise. Economics, demographics, changes in government policy, and changes to the family unit are creating some unique housing opportunities in some very unlikely locations and redefining the different housing options available. On today's show, we are going to explore a unique adaptive reuse project in an urban core setting. An opportunity has been created by what previously may have been perceived as a negative, that being the closing of a downtown school. But after today's show, the only perception that will remain is amazing. Let's get started.
This is our first project in terms of development, and truly I believe there's one thing in life and it's called class. So, we're trying to create a class act because this is a class building. This is restoration, it's preservation, it's culture, it's history, it's our community, it's in the heart of our community, and it's all of these good things put together, So when you create some good living spaces like these, you are going to attract people. If you attract people to the uptown, as we say in Waterloo, and downtown in Kitchener, then you are going to have, you will be given a shot in downtown economy.
Are you developing each unit on a request basis for each of your clients, or are you conceptualizing each unit yourselves and then more or less taking it to a certain stage and then letting the clients finish?
Well, I tell you, originally we spent like 3 months, 4 months designing each and every unit, and then we started building. We built some units, and then this is our first project. So we realized that customers, maybe would like to get involved. So after selling 11 units, we are giving people a chance, to. That's why we do some changes. That's why you see a lot of streets that we're ready to do drywall, but there's people that don't want 2 bedrooms, they want 1 bedroom, so we're allowing people to get involved with us, and we're building accordingly.
I see.
And we have 22 different designs. There are not 2 units alike in the whole building. Not 2 units alike whatsoever. So this is not a cookie cutter per se, or an assembly line.
This is very
much.
much.
We're giving each unit its unique entity in a sense.
It's amazing in the older structures how much building mass there is, how much weight there is. It's amazing.
I'll show you downstairs. When we tried to connect our sewer, when we did our 3 units for the open house, right, and we went to connect our sewer lines underground, realized that the old iron cast was very brittle.
Right.
We had all of the floors downstairs already framed. We raised the floors 18 inches downstairs, brought closer to the windows, and we still maintain 9-foot high ceilings. We don't call it basement, we call it garden court, because there's like 4 windows in each unit. And when I realized it was brittle, I told them, we're ripping them. So what are you, crazy? I said, we are ripping everything here, and we spent a month ripping all the framed floors, across this whole building and across that side, and we dug new trenches. We could tee them off at the end and took the new sewer to the outside of the building. So I changed the whole sewer underneath. Now, as we were digging, we came in the center of the building, right where we were inside there were foundations that were, if you can imagine, we just needed to cut through for the 5-inch ABS line. Mm-hmm. I had 2 people drill with jackhammers, for 1.5 full days, just to penetrate because the foundation was this thick. It was just unreal, This building is solid. This building probably be the last one to drop if anything hit this.
Exactly.
It's called Alexandra after Queen Alexandra of Denmark, in consort of King George the 6th or 7th. And I've I had a lot of people come by here that went to school. Many of them came by here, and they couldn't believe the transformation of an old classroom into a lovely condominium.
We're seeing a few blackboards around.
That's
building
original
shop.
blackboards.
This is all original blackboards?
It's all original blackboards. I took them off all the walls. I still have them in my cabinet shop. We're cutting pieces like that. We got somebody that bought this unit. He wants a piece exactly like that, part of the history of the school, you know.
Great.
We have them in a washroom here. I'll show it to you, you know, and that's all original. We kept all the slate. We built these shutters in our cabinet shop, and the designer came up with this magnificent idea. This is a sandwich, actually, and the material here is silk. You know, so these become...
It's almost an oriental look.
Exactly.
And what's the material that we're using as a sill there for the window?
This here is granite. This is granite, all of that is granite. You know, and over here...
So this is a very, you've really done a good job at utilizing space effectively.
We've utilized every square inch practically. We put a stackable washer and dryer here, and we also have our hot water tank inside.
Great.
I'm going to take you downstairs. I'm going to show you what used to be 6'1" inch high ceilings, and to what we have turned them into. The average height in the units downstairs is 9 feet. After we elevated the floor and after we tore the whole ceilings open downstairs. So if you come on downstairs.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we have two options: either to dig the floor to run our piping and in this particular case we have a lot of mechanical tools, or raise the floor. So we raise the floors, we put everything underneath, and we still maintain a very good height. You know, actually this unit is almost 8'1", but the average is 9 feet throughout the whole downstairs in the finished space.
So basically, Shawky, the solution for installing basement mechanical in space that previously didn't have mechanical, such as plumbing for toilets, etc., is to raise the floor?
Definitely, you know. But as I said to you earlier, we had all these floors free, you know, and then we realized that our sewer lines were very brittle, so we had to rip all of that. Had we known that prior, you know, then maybe we would have just not raised the floor and just stayed and dug everything, you know. We weren't aware of that. From a cost perspective, you know, naturally this is, you know, you save yourself 20 to 30% at least when you know it. But after the fact, so you see these trenches here, okay, but it goes.
So these are your primary trenches here?
This is for this area, but we went, and I'll show you next door, all the way across behind this wall that way, and we went across that way, then we tied them in at the far end of the building, and then we took them to the northeast side of the building, to the outside, 6 feet outside the building. So if anything happens in the future, at least it's outside the building, you know, you don't have to tamper with the integrity here.
Coming up on Your New Home, Ian talks to Shawky about the trend of using historic buildings to create luxurious living space and help rejuvenate the city's downtown.
Without the vision and energy of this project's developer, this school would have been demolished, depriving the community of an outstanding example of turn-of-the-century architecture.
See the ceiling? The ceiling was, that was the height of the ceiling, right there. And on top in here, there was mechanical as wide as that opening. There was mechanical that came down as low as this, all the way across, and it went into the distribution. You know.
So was it an old boiler system then?
It was a very, very old boiler. So that's the boiler room right there.
I see.
You know. We are going to blow that wall open, and this will be a walkout. This is a social room here. You're going to have a couple of treadmills, you know, and then you can walk outside, you know.
So then in terms of I think one of the challenges with this kind of project is being able to visualize the infrastructure requirements, things such as sewer and such as hydro. Were you able to utilize any existing infrastructure for that, or did you pretty much start from scratch and work it through again?
Well, I mean, the strength of the people that you work with as the designers and architects, the Venton Group and what have you, came to play. But overall, to answer your question, we tried to utilize and preserve whatever we could, and whatever we could preserve from the infrastructure, we've done, like I showed you upstairs, the doors, the windows, the railings, we preserved the integrity of the building. As for the infrastructure down here, for instance, if I wanted to buy a condominium here, or you want to have a level of comfort, and you want to know that it's an old building, but everything else is new, and that's what it is, so we put complete new sewer lines. We have a new roof going up next week, so everything, the gas, the hydro, the water, everything is brand new in here. So we kept the integrity of the building as it is, and then we worked with everything from inside to the outside.
Clearly, you've covered off the important elements that in the long term assure the comfort and the durability of the structure.
Well, Ian, when I talk to my employees on the job, and 80% of the forces are full-time workers of mine, I say, when you're working here, think of excellence, think of it as being your own house or your own condo, your own apartment that you're working on. We believe in excellence. We don't want to quote Tom Peters, in search of excellence here, but